Hello, my name is Markus Ruhnau and I want to introduce my turning point options and fundamental system to you. I developed it over some years now and I think it's a really good thing to start with because there are quite a lot of strategies which are included where you can be profitable quite fast. In the routine, it is really essential to look on the S&P 500 or in the Nasdaq to see what directions are the markets heading to. So we're seeing right now that the S&P and the Nasdaq are really in an upward trend after the huge losses. So we can have a look on the long side. We have two different ways to find points. I have the ES point and the turning points. Today we don't have any turning points, but anyway, I can show you here how to work with the ES points, and you find those fundamentally pre-selected in the stock filter long or in the stock filter short, and also in the stock filter general. In the stock filter general you just have to click and then you see all the points what occur. Here we have the ESP points and I always choose both the period right now and one day before, and click over and set them into the long sort list, and then they're getting over there. And the turning points, the green ones, I use and put them into the long entry list. Straightforward. Now we have the turning points in the long entry, but there, as you see, there I missed out this one yesterday. Otherwise I would be invested. Yes, and in the turning point you always have the direction that you go over and search whether the Fibonacci retracement is below 38%, which was the case here. A whole column should be below. And then we also want to see that there's an upward movement. And here we had it, that the high was taken off, and then we can go in. There's also an automatic system in place, so you can go and automatically get into a trade, which is really described in my handbook. Yeah, for the long sort list, you also see there are ratings here. And in the long sort list, we do have mainly for the options trader. So you always have the historic volatility, and there are some adjustments. I do a calculation every day on the server, on my server, and there are roughly 500,000 option chains checked every day. So not every pair is really, or instrument is really working. So only where you can see numbers here appearing, it makes sense. But you also have to check in the chart. But anyway, if we have a nice value like this one, moves upwards, if you See it here. See trend coming up like this. So the trend direction should be upwards. So let's have a look if there are options available. And yes, there are options available. They're always from the last day, so there could be slight differences in the option chains when you start trading. Mainly after trading in the US, the first 15 to 30 minutes are really volatile, and there you really have to different spreads available. So here in my program I do have the earnings date, so I prefer stocks or chains where I have some room until the earnings, and the expiration should not be too fast, because then you can really earn some money. You can change the parameters of the option chains by just setting up the day min or day max. And here I set it min to earnings, so it's 0 days till earnings, and obviously in this chain it's only monthly options or even more, and the volume is really low. So check the volume and the open interest. If it's too low, don't trade it because it's too expensive then. Then have a look on the another one. Here's the volume is much higher and it's only 15 days and still looks pretty good. And the system nearly says when you want to do a bull put spread, sell the upper put on a strike price of 20 here and then a lower put, for instance at 15, and you will earn a spread of 70 cents for 15 days. I'll have a look on another one. This one looks also pretty good, but you see the spread is really low. And you see also in the columns how many days till the earnings day, then how many days will be the option available. Like here we have a 2-day option, 32, and this is a really good deal where you can earn, because you only set the spread in the TWS, you only have the $5 risk, and you see your earnings rate would be 3.25% per day, which is quite enormous based on the $500 what is set. How would you engage in a trade like this? So first of all, you need the TWS and open it, and there you have the options trader. Of course you have to have the live data for the options, otherwise it's not working. So let's have a look what the system says. NOW, and it says 367.5. I don't have the strike price here available. I just go into the strikes and choose both. I know it's $5 difference, so I just take it and close. Then we see the option chains, but normally the values are not very accurate right in the beginning, because now the market is not open. So it should be done in the strategy builder. You just click here, and now the bull put spread is not really available, but here you see it's some midpoint at 30 cents. It's a credit spread where you earn money, and then you just submit it and you have it. And you can of course adjust the contract sizes, the numbers, and go to cancelled or whatever. The same thing works in the short side. We just search for ES points on the short side and put them into the short entry. So have a look. Here we have those. We take all. Short sort. And then the right chains should appear. It is not the best idea to work against the trend, so please have a look on it. If you can't see anything, it's really easy to adjust the window. You just have to go to the bottom left, for instance, and then you see it much better. The green rectangle always tells you where do you earn the money. Of course, if it's going more down like that, you earn the same amount, but it just gives you an indication that you don't have to think about it. If there are many strategies, it could be really, really complicated. Even if you do like a vertical call, it could be really complicated if you do it different. Okay, then we also have a fundamental rating where you can see the best performing stocks which are rated really, really high. Like this one. I have this one in my site. Really high rating, and what you can also see is that the earning per share is really nice, and even here through the crisis these stocks make a lot of money. You also have a target price included. What's the target price, so you know where the price might go. And for some stocks you also have a dividend. Sometimes it takes a little while, but normally not very long. And you see how much dividend the stock paid over the last years. And of course you can have a look on the earnings date. It also works in German stocks or other stocks. You also have a look on the dividend here. In the German stocks it's also working, so you can have a look here on the fundamentals of the stock and which are good stocks comparable. Or here in Apple, see the ratings. It's also very much comparing like the effects of the leverage, earnings growth, margin growth, return on equity, sales growth increase, risk of bankruptcy, and the market capitalization. Of course, a C rating doesn't seem to be so high, and the PE ratio is really, really high here. But anyway, it makes sense if you compare lots of stocks together. And I have like 20,000 stocks in the database. So we always look for the best performing stocks. And here on the return on equity, it says it has a relative value of 90.9%. So this stock, Apple, is performing better than 91% of the other stocks. Good.